Namanda, Namamida, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
Good morning. Welcome to White River Buddhist Temple's November Shotsuki virtual service. My name is Kenzo Kosai, and I will be chairing this morning's service. Throughout today's service, we encourage you to engage in the chat with other attendees and let us know where you're watching from. As a reminder, we are continuing to work through some technical aspects of streaming, so please bear with us as we learn to adjust. At this time, please Gasho for opening meditation. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. This morning, we will chant Sanbujo, followed by Jusei Gei, led by Reverend Warwick. During chanting, we will remember individuals who have passed away in the month of November by reading and displaying their names on the screen with remembrance.
Ujo Mida Nyorai Yudo Yo San Ge Aku Bujo Shaka Nyorai Niudo Yo San Ge Bujo Jipo Nyorai Niudo Yo San Ge Gagon Chosegan Ishimujodo Shigan Humanzo 所ががお無量行不意大
Kenzo
聖
Arita,
衆不採小便
Masaye
具
Nakai,
聖不上昇
Jitsu
学
Nakayama,
足上仏道
Genichi
妙所
Nakagawa,
長十歩苦境
Hiroshi
未
Nakayama,
消門聖不上
Yoneko
昇
Tsugiye,
が利欲人少年
Nida Tsugiye
上映
Nishimura,
修凡行
Charles
しぐ
Franklin
無
Moss,
浄土一生天
George
人し
Masakatsu
因
Ida,
力現代行
George
無所無
Tadamichi
才
Kanda,
道少女三苦
James
病
Masayuki
交際主
Onchi,
役難回避地
Hatsue
営
Okimoto,
言熱しこもあん
Chieko
閉塞
Nishimura,
小白道通達全
Kimiko
宗門
Arima,
高僧両満
Helen
足
Nishimoto,
栄養老十歩日
Koko
願
Sutow,
主重期天候音
Mae
普賢
Yamada,
一周解放像
Kimiko
公正
Taniguchi,
苦毒法上
Doug
大
Yamada,
先方四四
Harry
苦
Taketa,
供養一切分具
Natalie
即修
Win,
特本元礼心上
Tomio
満
Hamasaki,
国威三害用両
Masaru
仏無
Hamamoto,
下地通達に
Kiyono
不詳
Maekawa,
願学営力都市最小尊志願や国家大戦を感動国書天人東宇珍妙系南蛮南部南蛮南部南蛮南部南蛮南部南蛮南部南蛮南部がんにしくどく平等性才道本大心お量あら Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Please join me in the reading of the three treasures. The reading will be displayed on your screen. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teaching of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be free from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I put my faith in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves thy supreme will. I put my faith in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I put my faith in Sangha. May we together become units in true accord in thy life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Thank you. Now, I would like to welcome Reverend Warwick, who will give today's Dharma message. Reverend Warwick.
Namanda, 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 namanda. Bear with me a moment. I think I'm supposed to move this. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our virtual service, and thank you for joining us today. Please join me in Gassho for a reading from the collected works of Shinran. The Nimbutsu of Amida's primal vow is not our practice. It is not our good. It is simply keeping the name of the Buddha. It is the name that is good, the name that is the practice. Today we dedicate our service to those who have gone before us to the pure land of perfect peace during this month and years gone by. We remember our friends, our family, and our Dharma ancestors with warmth and happiness. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida. Namo Amida. The scene in America today is one of great stress, and it's being felt by millions of people all over the world, all over the country, and actually all over the world. This stress is related to the pandemic, the elections, the economy, and the fears of what is and what might be in our future. So how can we deal with all that? In our lives and in our dealings with others, the Buddha urges us to use what we call upaya, or skillful means. And each situation we find ourselves in is different, and each person we deal with is different. It's said that the upaya is employed by the bodhisattva to awaken others. An old Buddhist teacher gives us three pieces of advice on how to bring upaya into our lives. The first thing he said was to see everybody as Buddha, to see everybody as Buddha. It doesn't have to be Buddha itself. It can be anybody that whom you have an image of respect or appreciation for. The second thing he said was to hear everything as if it were the Dharma. To hear everything as if it were the Dharma. The Dharma is the sense, the Dharma in this sense rather means the Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha. There are many Dharmas, but in this sense it means the teachings of the Buddha. The third thing he said was to revel everything in this place as nirvana. Nirvana means the enlightened place, the place of clarity, peace, and comfort. How would we function if we held all three of those principles in time? See everyone as Buddha, hear everything as the Dharma, and feel that this place here and now is nirvana. So to see everybody as Buddha. So when you're stuck on I-5 and the I-405 in a traffic jam, can you look at all the other drivers, particularly those who are waving in and out and who are making hand motions and making kind of funny faces at you? Can you see those folks as Buddha? So in a work situation, if you have a particularly cantankerous boss who you think maybe is like a complete idiot or something, sometimes he acts that way, or she, can you look at that person as the Buddha? As a boss yourself, can you look at the person who works for you, who may not be doing the job quite right? Can you look at that person as Buddha? Can you look at the candidates up for election this year and see them as Buddha teaching the Dharma in their own way? The second advice is to hear every sound as the Dharma. There's a famous Chinese Zen master named Zhou Xu, and at 60, he was very well accomplished in the teachings, even at 60. But he felt that he needed more seasoning, more learning. So he told himself that he was going to go on a pilgrimage, and if he met a man of 80 whom he could teach, then he would share the Dharma with him. If he met a child of 8 years old whom he could learn from, he would learn from that child. By being that open, he further seasoned himself for probably 20 or so years until he was 80 years old. And then he decided that he was ready to teach. So he was listening to the Dharma. And then he taught the Buddhist teachings for another 20 years. To hear every sound as the Dharma means to pay attention, Listen to what people are saying and when somebody is talking to you. We're usually so busy trying to say something back that will impress the person we're speaking to that we don't really listen to what they're saying. And it's easy to give an appropriate response to a person in a conversation if you've actually been listening to them, rather than just planning what you're going to say next. So the third principle is to revel every place as the nirvana. When you sit where you sit right now, this place is nirvana. One of our Dharma ancestors said, neither try to eliminate delusion nor search for it for what is real. This is because ignorance, just as it is the Buddha nature. This worldly body itself, which appears and disappears like the ghosts and goblins this Halloween, is nothing other than the reality of our lives. When you actually wake up to the reality of life, there's not any particular thing that you can point to and say, this is reality, or that's reality, or this is it. This ignorant, deluded self, just as it is none other than the enlightened self. It is none other than this body and this mind. This very body and this very place is the enlightened one. So rather than trying to eliminate delusion, just be attentive in each moment. Just pay attention. In closing, if you have difficulty with what I just said and feel you cannot do this practice of seeing everyone as Buddha, hearing everything as Dharma, and being in nirvana here and now. If you can't do this practice, then with trust in the saving grace of the infinite wisdom and compassion, just say the Nimbutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Do this and everything will be okay. Once again, join me in Gassho. The Nimbutsu of Amida's primal vow is not our practice. It is not our good. It is simply keeping the name of the Buddha. It is the name that is good, the name that is the practice. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you for joining me today and listening to my message. And stay safe and be happy.
Thank you, Reverend Work, for that meaningful message. At this time, we will read the Jodo Shinshu Creed together. The words will also be displayed on the screen. Please follow along. Entrusting the vow of the Buddha and reciting the sacred name, I shall proceed through the journey of life with strength and joy. Revering the light of the Buddha, reflecting upon my imperfect self, I shall strive to live a life of gratitude. Following the teachings of the Buddha, discerning the right path, I shall spread the true Dharma. Rejoicing in the compassion of the Buddha, respecting and aiding one another, I shall do my best to work towards the welfare of society. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Alrighty. Thank you for that. And so now we are very fortunate to have a musical recording of Ondoku-san 2 performed by Donald and Judy Gardner. Please join us in singing along as the words will be displayed on your screen. Oops, technical difficulty. Sorry about that. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. I told you that there may be technical difficulties, and we are experiencing one right now. So let's try again. And it's because I've muted YouTube, but you know what? We're just gonna skip it. We're gonna skip it today, and that's okay. So next week we'll have musical. But before we end today's service, I'd like to make a few announcements. As a friendly reminder, in-person temple operations remain suspended indefinitely. Please check the temple calendar for information on our upcoming virtual programming. Second, White River will hold its annual meeting on Sunday, November 8th at 2 p.m. All pledged members will receive an email to the Zoom meeting after via the internet or via telephone. For questions, please contact the office. Our next virtual service will be Itaikyo service on November 15th at 10:30 a.m. Before every service, we will hold Socializing with the Sangha, a Zoom meetup for Sangha members to see each other, catch up, and discuss the Dharma. Socializing with the Sangha will start at 10:10 a.m. before each virtual service. The link to join can be found on our website, temple calendar, or via email prior to the service. Please join us. Our next temple virtual timeless cooking favorites cooking class will take place on November 14th at 11 a.m. With myself as the instructor. Registration is now open at www.wrbt.org/timelessfavorites. Reverend Work continues to maintain regular working hours. Please feel free to contact him if you have any questions. Another reminder, Tuesday is Election Day, and we hope that you will take a moment to exercise your right to vote. And finally, if you don't already, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website for the latest information. Okay, those are the announcements. At this time, please Gasho for closing meditation. The secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, worry about the future, or anticipate troubles, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. I want to thank Reverend Work and Rona for helping set up, Val for moderating the socializing with the Sangha today, and everyone who joined us today for making today's service possible. And this recording will be available on our YouTube very shortly. And we hope you enjoyed service today and appreciate you joining from wherever you are. We'll hope that you will join us again, and everyone stay safe and take care.